Well, greetings everyone. This blog is for the month of January, which January this time kept us in Adyar for the entire time. So get a chance to see some of the goings on there. In our last blog, showed you a little bit about the convention and many of the things that lead up to it, many of the things that happen during the convention. Just because convention ends doesn't mean that everything comes to a stop. In fact, there's a whole different level of activity that takes place every year. Among those things, we resume our School of the Wisdom presentations. This year we had a couple of very, very good ones and very well attended ones that took place after the convention, with Vic Hao Chin doing his self-transformation workshop. And then also we had Professor Amit Goswami, which took people deep into the quantum world. Be quantum, be happy. Dr. Goswami considers himself a quantum activist, and I think he motivated many of the people who were there with him. It's a normal thing during the course of the regular events at Adyar that people from all different parts of the world find their way to the Adyar campus. And often they will just stop in to my office just to check in or out of respect to the place. So we had a number of people of that ilk who came through this time as well. Very notably, we had a Justice of the High Court who was appointed to his position by the President of Brazil, who stopped in. And we had a very, very interesting talk. He's an ecological activist. And so there are actually some very profound things going on there in the Chennai area related to attempts to balance the ecology and the natural world in the middle of this teeming city. So I'll show you a little bit about one of those efforts that's very, very close to Adyar, the Adyar Punga, or the Adyar Ecological Park. So you'll see some of that. Otherwise, we're doing a lot of work. We necessarily have to do a lot of work recovering from the recent cyclone. Cyclone Varda, which hit in the middle of December, did a great deal of damage. We were able to get everything ready enough for our convention, but then the work had to begin on clearing out some of these massive fallen trees. So that's been going on continually, and it'll take probably another couple of months. I mean, it's not just trees that have to be removed, but some of those trees fell on our boundary walls, and stone is a very strong thing, but these trees just crashed the walls, and so they are having to be repaired. 13 different places in our campus, large breaches in the campus walls. So that's being done as we speak. Also, there are roofs that were punctured by falling branches, water supplies that were somewhat disrupted. Just a host of things come to light. So that's something that's going to be ongoing for the next little while. So get to show you a little bit of the work that goes on there. Again, things that you wouldn't see ordinarily, but are part of the normal life at Adyar. I should tell you, next month, we are going to have a very, very special visit. The Women's of India Association is celebrating its 100th anniversary. It was founded, among others, by Annie Besant. And so the group has requested to have its 100th anniversary celebration at the Adyar campus. It's a natural place for it. In talking with the ladies who are heading up the organization, they did say that they wanted to invite the President of India, which I thought was a very noble wish. But then it turns out that on March the 3rd, the President of India, the Governor of the state of Tamil Nadu, and the Chief Minister of the state of Tamil Nadu will all be present at Adyar for the celebration of the 100th anniversary of the Women of India Association. So it's going to be a very special occasion and a very nice exposure of our historic campus to some of the people who have been benefited by the presence of the Theosophical Society and its work in India. So anyway, that's just a heads up. We'll have some photos of that next month. So I hope you enjoy what's up ahead. As always, wishing you well. So every year during the month of January, in the state of Tamil Nadu, where Adyar is, the Pongal festival is celebrated. It's something of a harvest festival, and it involves a lot of dance, a lot of festivities. We went and visited at the Social Welfare Center and also with the Vocational Training School for some of the festivities that they were having. Gave out some of the diplomas to the graduates in the vocational training system, and had a chance for the kids to take part in some of the prayers and ceremonials related to the Pongal time. At Adyar, it is quite normal for people to drop in to visit from various countries. This is Justice of the High Court of Brazil, Antonio Benjamin. He's quite well known for his work in ecological law and the pressing of issues related to the preservation of the planet. In recent years, a very important, really monumental project has taken place on the Adyar River right across from the Theosophical Society. It's called the Adyar Ecological Park.
In the midst of a teeming metropolis, the option of only preserving, that is, separating people from their environment, does not seem practical.
The area that is now the Adyar Punga was previously a dumping ground filled with waste. The water was misused. Sewage was inflowing continuously. And it was something that was degrading the entire environment, and the people who were living near it were being affected. So the new project took this 58 acres and completely reclaimed it. The chief scientist at the site took us on a walking tour to show us the native species of plants and trees that have been planted and the ways that the birds and wildlife have now made this home once again. Also during the month, Father Francis Mulroney, director of the Center for Study of World Religions at Harvard and a Hindu scholar, came and visited us and gave a talk. Also accompanied our international secretary from Finland, Marja Artama, to an evening celebration of Finland's independence with the Chief Council for Finland. Following the close of the convention, the School of the Wisdoms began again, the first one being Vic Hao Chin's on self-transformation, very well attended and very well received. Also, that one was then followed by Professor Amit Goswami's class, which was on quantum physics and be quantum, be happy. So apparently it was an extraordinary event that went into great depth. I also had a chance to attend a lovely event hosted at the Krishnamurti Foundation with Samdong Rinpoche, a former head of the Tibetan government in exile. Other events included visits to the Shankara School, which neighbors our Theosophical Society's campus, for a presentation by its young students. It was quite informative. Here the little student was also Nelson Mandela. I hadn't actually got a chance to sit down with the teachers and principal as well. We also had an opportunity to host the Anthroposophical Society with their Waldorf education teachers training. You may recognize this gentleman, A.R. Rahman, winner of 2 Academy Awards for his music for the Slumdog Millionaire. He's a great fan of Adyar and posted this post that got 55,000 likes about the banyan tree. Other visitors we had came from other countries working in the archives. These came from Poland as well as from Japan. And then we had an opportunity for an evening of farewells to some of our members who were going back to their different countries. Republic Day was an occasion where I was in great demand at our Alcott School and later at the vocational training and the social welfare for hoisting the flag. It's a day when people get together to recognize the Republic and its founding and to say a few words. Here is the Director of Academics at our Alcott School, very dynamic lady who's doing a great deal to turn things around there. As always, there were speeches and lovely dance, which seems to be a part of each of these programs. Then it was on to the Social Welfare Center for the Children's Program, and it was very, very good. Again, they put up the colorful pandal for the people to arrive. and to sit under in the warm sun. Both children and parents were able to give dance performances and express themselves. It's a very good day, something that is well celebrated and well remembered. Everyone put on the Indian flag with the saffron color at the top. And here are the two directors of the Social Welfare Center. And of course, at our Adyar campus, a huge amount of work is still going on. A lot of work has been done with infrastructure, particularly with the water systems. So that's showing up, and we're getting good results from that. Doing a lot of recovery work from the recent Cyclone Varda. Here, roofs that branches had fallen into. We had walls that were broken by falling trees that are in the process now of being repaired. So these things will be ongoing for the next couple of months, as well as the removal of the actual trees. Many large trees fell, and so they're having to be cut, and the wood will be disposed of. It will be sold and move it off of the property. So a great deal of work has been done, and there's still a great deal more to do. So our people have been working every day, cutting apart these, some of them very large trees that fell. Along that line, one of the trees that fell was a tree that fell in front of our administration building. Beautiful old tree, which is found within that rubble, but they set it up. After it had been toppled, they set it up and piled soil around its base, hoping that it would come back. Very special tree. It's actually the Bodhi tree, Ficus religiosa, and it was planted by a very special person some time ago. Over the past few weeks, I've noticed the budding that has taken place, and so this tree will be back again. Probably past our lifetime, but it will be back. So I leave you with some of the beautiful scenes of Adyar.